Hey, if you're planning a trip overseas and you're probably going to want to have some reliable data coverage, well, today we're going to talk about eSIMs, and specifically, we're going to talk about the Jetpac eSIM. Now, I've actually used Jetpac eSIM in 7 different countries over the last 12 months. We'll be doing a review of it based on my personal experience, and I'm also going to go over some of the best features, including one that will actually save you a bunch of money and perhaps even pay for itself. Hey, I'm Joel of the Wandering Hartz, and I've been testing several eSIMs over the last 12 months of traveling full-time in various different countries. And today we're going to be reviewing one of my favorite eSIMs, which is Jetpac. Now, whether you're traveling for a week or a month or longer like we do, you're going to need reliable data wherever you're traveling abroad. But of course, this video is not sponsored by Jetpac, even though it'd be nice if they did. But we are affiliates of them, and also, we use them, and that's the main point here. We're affiliates because we believe in the product and we've had really good experience with it. All of the data plans that we're going to be talking about today, I've paid for myself, as well as all the other eSIMs that I've been testing as well. As of right now, we've been paying for everything out of our own pocket. Another thing you're going to need to know is that in order to use an eSIM, your phone's going to need to be unlocked, and also you're going to make sure it's compatible. Now, the good news is that most modern phones are compatible. Anything within the last 6 or 7 years, anything from I think it's the iPhone XS, the Samsung Galaxy series, Google Pixel series, all of those are generally going to be already compatible. Now, over at Jetpac's website, there is going to be a link where you can check and you can see if your phone is actually compatible or not. And later on, I'm going to share with you how you can get an exclusive discount code that will save you money if you want to try Jetpac out. So now let's talk about my personal experience with Jetpac. As I've mentioned before, I've used it traveling through quite a few different countries, including the US, Ireland, Greece, the Netherlands, Albania, Korea, and Thailand, to name a few. Everywhere I've been, I've had really good internet connections. I haven't had a problem with that. And I've also had pretty good data. There was only one country where I didn't have very good data, and that was in Ohrid, Macedonia. But that wasn't Jetpac's fault, because every SIM I tried there had the same problem. It was something to do with the network that we were connected to there. Whereas when we went to Skopje, the capital, I didn't have any problem at all. So having seamless data is really cool, especially when you're traveling. It means you can access your emails, you can look up restaurants or whatever on Google Maps, you can get ride shares. There's a lot of reasons you need data. Looking up exchange rates or sending pictures to your friends and family or whatever. I don't need to tell you about all the things you can do. But the great thing is that with an eSIM, and especially like a Jetpac, you can actually have it installed ahead of time. And then once you land somewhere, you can just turn it on and get your data. It activates, it connects to the network, and then boom, you've got data. As far as speed, I actually had really good speed everywhere, with the exception of the Ohrid, Macedonia, like we mentioned. But everywhere else has been really good speeds, including Thailand, Dublin, back in the US as well. And I didn't have any connectivity issues other than the very first time I tried using Jetpac. And that was when we were back last year when they were in the US. I had to do a little bit of advanced troubleshooting to get it reconfigured. But actually, customer service walked me through it, and it was really easy in the end. It just took maybe 15 minutes of going through that. So I have to say that their customer service was actually very, very good. And then also since then, I haven't had any trouble at all installing the new data packs that, afterwards. And okay, so another cool thing about Jetpac is they have this thing called Smart Delay, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute. But basically, it gives you, if your flight's delayed, it will give you a free lounge pass. And this actually happened to us when we were leaving South Korea. We ended up getting 2 free lounge passes, just as they said it would, once the flight was showing as delayed. Of course, the problem was we were already on the plane and on the tarmac, so we couldn't take advantage of it. But it's a really cool perk that Jetpac has that I haven't found any other eSIMs to have. So let me highlight a couple quick features. And first is that it's hotspot compatible, which is fantastic, especially if you're traveling with other people. It means that you can share your data connection with them. It basically is like a Wi-Fi, and they just connect directly to it. Or if you're like us, if you're trying to connect, say, a tablet or your laptop to a data connection, maybe you've got a really bad Wi-Fi or something like that, you can do the same thing through the hotspot, which is super, super awesome. The app is actually really easy to use. As you can see, everything's digital, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. You can just go in here and purchase all of the packs that you want. You just pick whatever country you're going to be traveling to. It just loads up, and you'll be able to take a look at all of the different options that are available to you. For instance, you can see all the different packs that are available, and a lot of times they have stuff on sale, which is another cool thing that I like about Jetpac. So if you just hit that button there, it opens up with the Jetpac perk, the Flex data. There's 2 of those subscription options that they have as well, which are really cool. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Again, to set it up is easy. You download the app, you sign in, you figure out which package is right for you, and you buy it. And you can also connect your payment method to it as well, which I definitely recommend if you're going to use it. As far as the installation process is concerned, what they're going to do is they're going to give you a QR code. You just scan that QR code and it will automatically install. But there's also manual option as well, and they'll give you instructions both through the email and as well as in the app too. Once you've installed it, you just turn it on, and as soon as it connects to a network, it will activate your plan. And you'll be able to, especially like when you arrive at your new destination, and you'll have data. Just like if you were to land off the air, if you're flying somewhere and you turn off airplane mode and it connects, exactly the same thing. They have customer service both in the app, which is super convenient, and they also do it through email too. So that's, I think we ended up using both methods when we were trying to solve that problem that I had that first time. So now let's go ahead and go into the computer here, or go to their webpage and talk a little bit more about some of the features. So first up, as you can see here, Jetpac's got a really good website. It's really easy to see stuff. It shows you all the different countries that they offer, all the packs. Again, you can just download it real quick right here. And one thing to mention too is that they have over 200 destinations, which is really cool. And that they've done that. They have the multi-country options, and they also have those single country options too. And like I said before, I've used it in 7 different countries over the last 12 months with just that one hiccup, which was the first one. But another cool thing is that like a lot of the plans are, like let's look at the US. I don't know, I just clicked on that one. But as you can see here, they start at 4 days and they go up to 30 days. So like this one here is 30 days there. And you can see you can go from like 1 gig all the way up to 40 or even 50 gigs in this case. Some of them will go, I think 50 is the highest I've seen with Jetpac. Again, as you can see, pricing is really good too. It's very affordable, way cheaper than if you're paying for those international passes or having to pay an extra like $20 or $30 a month for a more expensive plan. And of course, also way cheaper than paying roaming fees, which can really get you in trouble. Again, for the cost of an international data pass, which is a 1-day pass, which are generally between like say $10 and $12. Let's see, what can you get? You can get 5 gigs here, or 10 gigs for $13 for one country. That's just the US. We can look at a different country as well. So for instance, here on Southeast Asia, you can get upwards of 1 gig to 40 gigs. And now the 40 gigs can be a little bit more expensive on that one. But they've got really good prices in here for, now this is multi-country, by the way. This is like a regional. So it'll show you kind of like what you want to do here. Like let's say we just let's pick the 10 gig one. There we go, details. And then here it'll show you like all the different countries that this works for. This pack is good for 30 days and it's good for 6 different countries. And you can see we got Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and it shows you all the different networks and everything. And it also shows you like how good it is. Like the great thing about Jetpac is that once you buy the pack, you don't have to install it right away. or you can install it, but you don't have to turn it on or activate it right away. It's good for 1 year from purchase. Also, you'll see here that it doesn't, this is data only, so most of theirs are going to be data only, but they have those extra perks I was talking about. First is the smart delay, and essentially, like I said before, if your flight's delayed, they give you a lounge pass, which is really, really sweet. You just get an email, and then you're able to go in and do that. Other things that you can do too is they have add-ons, so you can actually buy lounge passes if you just want to do that, and they're actually at a fairly reasonable price. And you can also do fast tracks too, so where it's kind of like a skip the line, just kind of like back in the TSA might have like the TSA pre-check. Well, this is kind of like a fast track where you can do the same thing. You just pay, I think it's $12 or whatever it is for the fast pass, depending on where you're at, and you'll be able to go jump through security a lot quicker. Another really cool perk here is that you can see they have a lot of specials. For instance, they have this 1-for-1 special for like $1. You can get 1 gig. And in this case, this pack actually works for 6 different countries, and it's good for 4 days, which is super awesome. This is one of my big hacks. So if you want to do something like this, it doesn't have to be this one here. This is like, you get the 1-for-1 is only one time. You only get to use it once. But it's a really great way if you're transitioning from a couple different countries, that you can get a regional pack and have data. Another cool thing is they have this JetFlex subscription option. And the first one here, you can get it from 1 gig to 10 gigs, as you can see there. So it's like anywhere from $3 to $24 for a monthly membership. Again, from 1 to 10 gigs a month, if you are going to be doing that, like say you're traveling like a business, you do a lot of business travel, or if you're traveling like we do, or you're maybe on a long vacation, or you're slow traveling, this could be a really good option. And it gives you 2 options, pay monthly or quarterly. It does have a 3-month minimum commitment. And they also have the Jet Pro, and this is more like kind of like a business type one. And it offers a lot of other cool stuff too. Like you get 1 lounge pass each month that you use it. It does cost a little bit more. It's like $45, and it gives you lots of data too. You get 7 gigs of data for all the different destinations as well. Also, you can skip the lines with priority access through their fast track pass. That's what this is right here. And it starts at like $12 a month. And like I said too, you can also add lounge access as well. So you can just do lounge access either as part of the pack, like I said, it comes with it, or you can buy it additionally. And you can do that through your app as well. We've already showed you how you can do that. And it starts at, I believe, $30 for the lounge access, which is a pretty good deal. And we already talked about what I think is the best feature was that smart delay, which gives you that free access for you and up to 5 different people that are flying on the same flight that you're on. So really good if you're traveling with friends or family. And as long as you do it beforehand, basically what you do is you just register your flight in each person, and then it will give you access to a lounge access if it's delayed, which is pretty for you and everybody, which is really, really cool. Now, I did promise you some discount codes, and so you've probably seen it on the screen. Just scan that QR code, and that'll take you directly to my full review of the Jetpac eSIM. In there, I keep the most updated codes there. So we've got like an exclusive code there that you can check out. Sometimes those codes change, so that's why I put it on the web page, because I can't re-edit a video later on. So you might be watching this a year or 2 after I've filmed this. And so if that's the case, you can just scan that QR code, it'll take you over there. You'll get the full review, any updates that I've got, as well as the special discount code for you too. That'll hopefully save you a little bit of money. Now, of course, there are going to be some pros and cons, and so I'm just going to run down these really quick here. Again, a pro, instant activation. Again, you don't need to use SIM cards at all, which is really nice. No standing in line, no like, you know, have to do showing your passport or anything like that. It just works. Again, you have 4G and 5G connectivity to a lot of major telecom providers. They're all major telecom providers, but each country, they usually have one that they connect with. Again, my experience has been pretty solid with that. So another pro is that they have that mobile hotspot, which is really cool. Not all eSIMs have this, Again, you have data plans for over 200 different countries, as well as some regional plans. Another pro is that you can find out all the preferred networks by looking on either the app itself, it'll show you, or even the web page. Again, a top-up is available, which is super, super cool, meaning that you can top up your data package without having to reinstall a whole new one, which is great. I do like the 2 subscription plans. I think that's a really good option for people. And of course, those perks as well, like the Smart Delay Lounge access. Also, I didn't mention this before, but they do provide a VPN as well for 30 days with the purchase of a pack. And of course, also you can buy those fast tracks or even separate lounge passes if you'd like in the app as well, which is really cool. No one else does that I'm aware of. Another pro is that those plans start at 4 days, which I really, really, really do like, especially perfect for like a weekend trip or just a short trip. Or maybe if you're transitioning through like one country or a region, or if you just want to test it out and see how it works. You know, you can take advantage of that like $1 deal that they've got. Again, it's widely compatible with a lot of different smartphones, pretty much all of them. All eSIMs are pretty much like this. And also they have the in-app function, which is really cool for customer service, as well as email customer service, and they can also do customer service through WhatsApp. Another really cool thing is that Jetpac does not have a fair use policy, meaning that you get to use all of your data without any speed limits. So they're not going to throttle you if you end up using 5 gigs in one day. Not a lot of companies are clear about that, or they're not clear about their fair use policy. So it's really cool that they talk about it and the fact that they have a policy like that. Another thing that's really cool too is that you can actually transfer your eSIM plan to another phone with the same account. So you just sign into your new account on a different phone, or if you're like signing over to like another, like you say you're moving it to a friend or whatever, you can do that, which is really cool. Now, some of the cons. First up was I did have some issues connecting originally, having to manually change our IMSI country code thing, which is kind of what it turned out to be, which is very technical. You don't have to worry about that. But that was a con. Again, having said that, we haven't had that problem since. Also, plans are data only. They don't have any calling or texting available. So for something like that, you're going to use probably a web app like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or Signal or one of those. In fact, I've got a whole video you can check out talking about how to stay connected while traveling abroad that is on the YouTube channel. So definitely take a look at that one. I cover all of the different options that you have. So another con for me was the fact that their data plans, if you want a longer term data plan, you can't get it until you get to 5 gigs. Another con is the fact that they do have top-ups, but they don't automatically top up. So you're going to have to manually do that. So you'll notice when you're getting low, and then you'll have to open up the app and then do that, which is not a real big deal. But just in case you forget, you get the notification and you forget to top up and you're like, why don't I have data? Another con is, and this is a small one, but the fact that they have no lifetime data plans. A lifetime plan just basically allows you to use that. You can buy, say 5 gigs of data, and you can use it just whenever you want over however long. So unfortunately, they don't have that ability. Another con is that you can only manage your subscription and perks through the app itself. So for instance, this flight delay coverage, or smart delay coverage, you actually have to open up the app and then enter all the information in the app. And that's how they basically process all of that stuff. Overall, Jetpac offers a really good cost-effective solution, and it's bundled with a ton of perks, which are really, really cool. Honestly, I think it's ideal for especially more frequent travelers with those subscription options. And they offer a lot of robust options, especially that some of those perks like the flight delay thing, that alone is worth the price of the eSIM. Like you spend $10 on an eSIM and you get a $35, $40 lounge pass if your flight's delayed. I mean, that's a huge win-win. I basically use it as a kind of insurance policy for the flight delay. Additionally, the fast track and the ability to actually buy a lounge access while you're traveling is also a really cool perk. I mean, you don't have to have like another app like a Dragon Pass or or Priority Pass or any of those, you can actually just access a lot of lounges and stuff just through the app too. Now, overall, I would probably give Jetpac a 4.5 out of 5 stars, which is really, really high. It's one of the highest ratings that I've done, but it's not quite perfect. But what would make it perfect would be adding a lifetime data package, and also adding the ability to do those auto top-ups. If they did that, I think Jetpac would be my #1 all the time, no matter what, because it just offers so many really, really good perks. Now be sure to like and subscribe to keep up with more travel tech and tools. I'll be breaking down more eSIM's, apps, and all the tech that will make your travel journey a lot easier and more convenient. Basically, it's all the stuff that makes our full-time travel journey basically run really smoothly. Thanks so much for watching. Happy wandering.